The last flight of the Hajj.
Regarding the conduct of Gambian pilgrims in Mecca, Babukar Fati, the PRO of the GIA, says that has never been an issue, adding that Gambian pilgrims have conducted the pilgrimage and represented the country in the right manner. Fati thanked the Gambia government on behalf of the GIA for their continued support and trust they have in the national career.
There has been a mandate that has been given to GIA over the years, and this year is not an exception. This year also we have got a very successful one, as you can see. So we are just going to say thank you very much to the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sir Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, for the trust and confidence that he has in GIA and also in his entire government. We have soldiered it. It's not easy, but with the help of God Almighty Allah, we have come to the very tail end of it with a very resounding success.
Majority of the pilgrims were happy to speak to the national broadcaster to express their delight at the smooth conduct of the Hajj process and prayed for the leadership of the country and the entire Muslim Ummah to live in peace and harmony.
This is the flight that brought about 320 pilgrims from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia who are back to reunite with their families. These are people who have just completed their Hajj. Famarakani, Grts News.
The Independent Electoral Commission will conduct a National Assembly by-election for Foni Jarol constituency in the West Coast region on Thursday, 9 January 2014, in accordance with Section 91, Subsection 1D and Subsection 3 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. A news release from Election House states that the said by-election is necessitated by the expulsion of Honorable Poli LSP Koli, the erstwhile National Assembly member of the said constituency from the APRC party, under whose ticket he was elected to the National Assembly. The IEC was formally informed of the said vacancy by the clerk of the National Assembly. It concludes. The representatives of institutions with a stake in youth empowerment through employment recently gathered under the auspices of the National Enterprise Development Initiative to validate a consultancy study on the feasibility and viability of a proposed juice processing plant and an incubation center. The proposed projects were conceived by the National Enterprise Development Initiative. Umijai reports.
Enhance local foods and food products in the Gambia, the National Enterprise Development Initiative, with the support of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, are on the verge of kickstarting juice production from our own local products. This initiative is in response to President Jammeh's call for growing what we eat and eating what we grow. The Ministry of Youth and Sports is a key component of government with the all-important role of empowering youth in all spheres of development in the Gambia. This is recognition of the fact that young people constitute over 50% of the entire population, necessitating the need for their effective contribution to the socio-economic development process of the Gambia.
And this program that we're here for today is within Output 2, which calls for support the development of issue-based knowledge products and tools addressing barriers to identifying strategic directions for small and medium enterprises development, particularly for women and youth in selected regions.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports, delivering the opening statement, highlighted the importance of this processing plant to the economy of the country, noting that it will create more employment avenues for the youthful populace. DPS Njai exuded confidence that at the end of the day, this draft document on the feasibility and viability of a juice processing plant will be critically reviewed.
We at the ministry are just facilitators. I do hope that the youths who are the target beneficiaries of this document will do justice to the document and critically review the document so that your views and contributions will be incorporated.
The partners are called to review it, look at it, comment on it, criticize it constructively, to have all their inputs in, so that at the end of the day, the product that will be produced will be an all-inclusive one that will be fit for the establishment of a juice processing plant for the young people of this country.
After After the fine-tuning of the draft document on feasibility and viability of a juice processing plant, one can only hope that this development, when fully hatched, will be maximally exploited by the country's youth, as it will not only create employment for them, but could as well promote the availability of homemade food products in an affordable and quality manner. Uminjai, GRTS.
As a result of the somewhat unseasonal downpours being experienced in some parts of the country, the Department of Agriculture is urging affected farmers to spread and dry all harvested cereals stocked in the open. A news release from the said department states that similarly, groundnuts harvested and stocked or heaped should also be spread under the sun for thorough drying, thus minimizing the risk of aflatoxin infection. Key stakeholders today convened for a consultative meeting on proposed European Union response for the programming of the 11th European Development Fund for 2014-2020. The high-level meeting focused on agriculture and governance of the road transport sector. Ominjai has details.
The main aim of the National Development Strategy 2012 to 2015 is to significantly increase the welfare of the Gambian population through accelerated and sustained economic growth and employment. In order to achieve this goal, the approach is premised on improving the modernizing infrastructure, governance and fighting corruption, as well as strengthening human capital stock to enhance employment opportunities. According to World Bank's 2008 poverty assessment, poverty in the Gambia is still pervasive, particularly within the 70% of the population whose economic activities revolves around agriculture. Nutrition remains an important cross-cutting development concern. Malnutrition, which is being used as a proxy indicator for measuring hunger, is prevalent in the Gambia. The government is relentlessly working towards achieving agricultural development and food security in the country, and the EU's intervention in this sector is in tandem with the development aspirations of the government and people of the Gambia.
The government of the Gambia plans to strengthen sources of economic growth, especially growth that will benefit the poor, to accelerate growth and reduce poverty. The government will promote inclusive growth to create economic opportunities, along with ensuring equal access to them.
Agriculture for economic growth and food security and nutrition has been chosen as the first priority for our programming, and this is very much in line with the fact that agriculture is also a major priority of the page.
This one-day consultative meeting seeks to address the European Union's response to the request for consideration of the agricultural sector for inclusion in the 11th European Development Fund project. Uminjai, GRTS.
Time now to take a first break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Many horrifying stories have emerged from the civil war in Syria, but new claims by a British doctor are particularly shocking. He says snipers are targeting pregnant women and children who are top on their list, while viewers are warned that some of the images in this report are graphic and very disturbing. CNN's Atika Schubert reports.
Chilling image of just how horrific the Syrian civil war has become. A sniper's bullet in the skull of an unborn fetus. The pregnant mother was the victim of a sniper attack. British surgeon Dr. David Knott volunteered at several hospitals in northern Syria with the charity Syria Relief.
You actually see the bullet hole here going from one side of the uterus to the other side, and the baby was caught in the middle.
These images are graphic, but they are all survivors. Dr. Knott says 90% of the surgeries he performed on any given day were sniper wounds, up to 20 gunshot wounds a day. Syria Relief provided CNN with these pictures of sniper victims in order to raise awareness of the growing violence. Dr. Knott says he believes snipers are specifically targeting pregnant women and sometimes children in a vicious game of war.
But one day we received, say, 15, 16 gunshot wounds, and of that, 8 to 9 were targeted in the left groin only. And then the following day, they were targeted in the right groin only. I think definitely there was a game going on.
A targeting game, a targeting
game.
In this video from Aleppo, men, women, and children try to outrun snipers' bullets as they cross from the regime-controlled enclave of